Hello, class. Welcome to your online virtual Basic 101 beginner's course on spirituality. Now, what really is spirituality? It's pretty much what you make of it to be. It is whatever you, as the creator of your own life, conceives of this reality, this world, this realm that we live upon, that we are a part of. We don't just exist here, we are a connection and a oneness of everything all together, supremely connected as one being, as one whole entity. And it links together with many people's beliefs, so it's not just one particular thing. This is just a very beginner basic course for all you new beginners out there, or people who just need a nice reminder and a refresher. So there are 5 basic things I will show you today, linked in with spirituality that you can try for yourself. Now, you don't necessarily need to use these tools, these things, in order to incorporate spiritual work. This is just a part of many people's spiritual practices and teachings, and I'm just here to teach those materials to you. So the first basic thing are essential oils. So I happen to have one here that's lavender and patchouli. Alright. And this is a roll-on blend, so it has a little marble on the end, and you just roll it along the surface of your skin, where you may desire that form of relaxation. Now, make sure you use grade A, 100% pure therapeutic essential oils. Otherwise, it's as good as perfume. And I say this because essential oils typically have many properties of high vibration. They emit a frequency at a very high vibration compared to the human body. And so when you are surrounded with this oil, basically what happens is you begin to elevate on the vibration of the oil. So it's common knowledge that essential oils are on a high vibration. Now, there is skepticism based upon whether using them or wearing them will allow you to be vibrationally connected with it. You cannot match the oil vibrationally, otherwise you would just collapse and fade away. But it is quite proven that when you are around it, even just near the oil, your vibration begins to elevate on a safe level. Okay? Now, when you drink coffee, for example, your vibration lowers. So sometimes you need that boost or that pick-me-up. You can inhale the essential oil, put it on your skin, and if it's one that you can digest, even a drop in your water, lemon essential oil is perfect for that, but most of them you cannot ingest. It's not safe, so for topical use only. I recommend you diffuse the oil with another oil. Water and oil do not mix, so you need oil to mix with oil so that it can dilute the strength of the essential oil itself, because they are concentrated and they are quite potent, and that's why there's only so much in a tiny tube, because it's very strong, and that's why they are so expensive. Okay, so I hope that answers any questions. You can always email me at TonyTheProfessor at zoomcourseclass.com. So this is just for beginners. We're going to take another course in a few weeks on essential oils alone, but I just wanted to start again with this basic course to teach you what my courses are about, what you can get out of them. Okay, so that is essential oil. Perfect. Next. Do you know what this is? give you a moment to guess. No, it's not what you chill out with after school. It's sage. I know what you people do out there nowadays. This is sage. Sage stick. Sage is just an herb that you can use in your food. These are wrapped in bundles and purchased from a native business. There are shortages of sage because many people are supposedly, allegedly uninformed about its use with the native culture. So please support your local native businesses, and if you can, just buy one that's not perhaps pure sage. If it's from someone else, buy it with they'll usually mix it with another herb, due to the shortages. So just so you're aware, because if everyone starts hauling themselves to buy these, then there will be none left for the natives who actually need this for their practices and uses, okay? But this I keep in a Ziploc because you should always keep it airtight, sealed, and fresh for use. They require the proper dryness and moisture, so they are withdrawn from the earth at the right time for use. It cannot be too moist or it will not ignite. It cannot be too dry, otherwise it will ignite too quickly and cause too much of a smoke and not get the right silvery green smoke, which is required of burning sage. So they put them together like this and wrap twine around it, and you just light the tip. I won't do it now. I don't want to be wasteful, but this is good for cleansing and removing negative energy and pollution from the air. It has such a great aroma. It brings back so many memories of my first time purchasing sage in 2012. It was such a surreal experience, and to light it for the first time, it really felt great. So you would light it at the tip that has more of an, I would say, narrowing out, or more sage. See, this tip has more sage. This tip is more bark. So the bark is on the bottom. You light the tip of it, okay? And this twine is perfectly flammable with the sage at the same equivalence. Alright, and it keeps them bundled together. And once you do that, you get a feather, and you just waft the smoke of the sage around. And you chant a prayer, and you say positive affirmations. You can do whatever. You can even wrap it around yourself and cleanse away negative energies. I've been doing this for many years now. So, I can say it works. You can also use Palo Santo, and we'll go into that. There's another separate course on sage as well, and what you can do, and how to go around your home and cleanse your home and cleanse your own space as well, and how to do it on someone else as well. So there's a whole course on that. Just be mindful around pets, okay? And I'll teach you also safety practices and measures and proper ways to burn it out. You need an abalone shell, which will hold and support your sage stick so you don't accidentally ignite something, so it's very flammable, or burn yourself an accident. And how to properly turn off the stick once you are done, and safely, and store it away, because it can be a bit tricky, you can't just use water. Alright, so that is sage. It does get quite expensive, so as part of your spiritual journey, you will need to bundle up and know how to preserve them, because it's also bad if you keep them for longer than a year, even if you preserve them. And I'll go into why and how energy works with this, and how it manipulates and moves around energy. But this is sage, and it just, again, just the aroma. You can even inhale at a distance safely. You can cleanse your crystals, which I'll go into soon as well. You can cleanse this new stuff that you've purchased, maybe stuff you've bought at Goodwill per se. Usually they have many past owners and a lot of energy attached to those items. So it's also recommended you cleanse anything new as well, even when you move into a new home. And you can then also use blessing oils to pair this with around your home, and put salt in the corners of your bedrooms and such to disperse away more of that potential negative energy. And you just feel it when you walk in a room and you feel a particular way that is not sitting comfortably well with you. That is the perfect time to use sage, okay? And sometimes you can just light it there and sit with it and meditate and just take deep breaths. I would recommend doing that outside as it accumulates in the home. You want to move through the home quickly. You don't want to trigger any fire alarms in your security system coming to your door. So, yes, be safe and precautious with this. And where you wave the feather, you can use any feather really from outside. I'll tell you about that more in future courses with that sage. Now moving on to the crystal world, and this is a rhodonite crystal. It's a beautiful blood red pink with a bit of, I believe, pyrite within. Other stones and crystals usually have other stones and crystals within it. That's just how it is in the natural earth. The more pure, developed form a crystal is, without other intrusions, the more expensive, and crystals do get to be expensive. They're like buying pairs of shoes. So the bigger the crystal, the more expensive it is. So keep that in mind. But they do have immense metaphysical properties, from holding it into your hand through just having it in your home and walking by it every so often. You will feel the effects of crystals. There's many things you can do with crystal therapy. You can place it over your chakra points and actually heal yourself. Crystals, like essential oil and even like sage, hold properties, okay? And you can speak into the stones itself as they hold memory, and they will remember exactly what you said. Many times I'll purchase crystals, and before I'll even cleanse them, I'll work with them because they're pure. If you think about it, there's no negative energy attached to crystals. And I'll just get visions. The other day I was holding a crystal, and I don't even watch her, listen to her, care for her. I don't even know her that well. But I thought of Ariana Grande the other day while holding a crystal. And I saw her. It's like I astral projected into her private plane. And I saw her there. And it was like the event, that London incident, occurred when she was at the concert, right? And she was crying, and I saw the flight attendants comfort her and hug her and wrap her in blankets. I don't know if this actually happened, but it's like I astral projected into a past memory. Someone must have held that memory of that day in that stone, because I thought of it in that stone in that moment in time, holding it. So I thought, okay. And sometimes you can astral project, which is not even a part of my course teachings, but maybe in the future, into, now that I think about it, this kind of does look like the United Kingdom. Interesting. I don't think it was this stone, but regardless, you can actually collect memories of anyone if you don't cleanse it. So that's why I recommend cleansing it before working with it, even if they promise to have done it. Run it under sage, put it in salt, in the moonlight, sunlight, dig it in the soil, whatever. Okay. Now that I think about it, I've also astral projected into someone's room before, but it happens. The more you do the spiritual work, the more God trusts you with those abilities and, the privacy of others. I won't go into it, but I've been doing that since a very young age, so I believe it's already been given as a gift, but, it just kind of helps you channel your already gifts. Which we all have. We all have the ability to tune in, be psychic, to pick up intuitively different life events, future events. Which really, there's no such thing as the future. Everything is now. So you're just sort of bending the fabric of space and time already, just to kind of already see what already happened, because it's already here. So nobody really ever looks in the future because it's now. Regardless, the physical body is the only thing that ages, but while you're here using your physical body, you can utilize crystals and stones, and they all have different properties. This is great for love, relationships, forgiveness. I felt a lot with this stone. It's actually my new favorite, rhodonite. Okay, rhodonite stone. So it really connects with me. I love holding it. I just love feeling the good energy. Crystals are usually associated with different colors. So this pink, what do you think of pink and red? Love, heart, right? But green can also be heart for the chakras. Again, I don't have a chakra course, but chakras are basically like 7 different, those are the major 7, 8 ones plus the one above your head. But there's crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar sacral, and root. And the one above the crown, so divinely 8. And those are basically like flower petal systems that spin very incredibly fast, and they're all connected within each other, and they flow, and that's like your energy system, and that emits a vibration of, well, technically your aura emits that, or is a part of that emits your body, if it makes sense. Like, you're just here acting as this human being in the physical, but you really are your energy here, right, in your aura. It's a difficult explanation, but you see a lot of this while meditating with crystals, so I recommend you work with them. And we're going to do a run through of like Q&A of like what crystal you use, maybe citrine, amethyst, selenite, those are common, clear quartz, rose quartz, pyrite, hematite, obsidian, I could go on and on, tourmaline. And you just pick one crystal for that week and you share your experience with that crystal. What did you see, when you meditate with it, when you just wear it with you in your bag or your pocket or your necklace? How did you feel? What improved in your life? What changed? Try it sometime, okay? So we're going to go more into stones and explain the colors, the properties, how they're formed from the earth. And you're going to have quizzes and tests, exams on all of this stuff that I'm mentioning in each course. You'll be quizzed at the end of every 5 of my courses, and then an ultimate final exam for all 5 at the very end of this semester. Okay. Tarot cards are another great tool. This is one deck that I have, the Ethereal Visions Illuminated Tarot deck by Matt Hughes. It's my favorite. Honestly, I think ever since I've gotten this tarot deck, I've seen more clients than ever before, because there's something about this that is so incredibly drawn to me. I can't explain to you, but it's worked in so many ways to channel divine message. Oh, and look, a crow started to haw outside as soon as I pulled it out and spoke about it. Every time I even use this, I've seen like the strangest of things, like black spiders, black snakes, black crows and ravens. Like all of a sudden, like the weather will change and go dark. Like, and it's not a bad thing, because I've always been looking at that as good omens. Like, I'll see a black feather outside. I just did yesterday. Like, there's something so powerful, metaphysical with tarot, and again, bending the space of time and fabric. So what you do is you get a deck, and these are just for entertainment purposes only, as a disclaimer. Even it says on this is actually, this tarot deck is meant as like a playing game. It's literally from a US games system. It's literally like a board game. Like, it's sold within the same products of board games as like Monopoly. So don't take it too seriously, but I do put my faith system in tarot. There's something different about it. It just channels divine message. Okay? And you pull out cards, and you can do a Celtic cross spread, you can do a 3-card spread, a 5-card spread. There's so many different spreads and ways and modalities. You can shuffle your cards. I won't go into all that. That's what the main course is for. But let's say we pull out the 7 of Cups. This happened to come up at the top now while I was shuffling. What do you see when you see a tarot card? What is it that draws you in? What draws me in every time, or most times at least, is the mask that this guy is holding and wearing. So what are you concealing? What are you hiding from yourself and others? What are you trying to impress someone with? Skulls are impressive, sure. And we're just talking about sort of like dark things, aren't we? Doesn't this look a bit like heavy and dark, right? This scary looking beast. This is the Seven of Cups. So if you are not sure, because cards have multiple meanings, usually make sure you get a beginner's tarot, kind of like this one. And look up the meaning. Go to the cups section and look up 7. Upright, which is what it was, is illusion, imagination, unrealistic desires, and possibility. So again, what are you hiding and concealing? That's again like a first impression. In reverse, if the card... Oh, well, I lost it. Here is upright. Here is reverse. If the card shows up like this, the 7 of Cups would mean temptation, indecision, insecurity, and overwhelm. So again, insecure. Maybe you're insecure about something. So sometimes, based on your intuition, it could be like the meaning of reverse. Even if you got the card upright, it's still whatever pulls you in. It's still kind of the same, right? Even if it doesn't say it. So I don't like using books too much. It's good to research and study up on it, and we'll go into that, the details and definitions, basics of every card. What is the Queen of Cups? What is the Page of Wands, etc.? The major, the minor arcana. There are 78 cards in a deck, but you use your intuition at the end of the day. Okay. All right. So I think that's pretty much all I'm going to explain about tarot from him. Always tell others not to take it seriously. It's for entertainment purposes only, even if you are paid, because people can use this for their major life problems, and I would never advise you to work with someone who believes that this is just for a strict yes or no answer. Meanings can change and variations can change based on the energy output of the person that day. So if they decide to change their mind about the guidance or not listen to universal divine guidance, then the answer will change. If they have disrespect toward the cards, maybe they're telling the reader that they're wrong. They're telling the reader that they don't have faith in the reading. They don't have faith in themselves. The reading will be meaningless and useless for that person because they don't believe that it's working. They just expect it to be a strict answer, or they expect it to be what they want instead of listening to guidance, and then the reading will not really vibrate with them. It will kind of tell them the truth about how they're projecting onto others, and then, it's up to the reader to move on if they should continue working with that person or not. So, ton of advice on tarot. It has its goods, it has its bads as well, but overall, you should always be honest with the person and say what you see, okay? And sometimes while you're doing your readings, you'll get visions in your head, you'll hear things, you'll sense things, sometimes ancestors come through. Trust in your divine connection and guidance with the cards, and anyone can start. Your intuitive abilities improve the more you use cards. I've been using them since I was 15 years old, so I know that my faith and trust in that work has improved my abilities over time, and I've become more accurate with time, and you'd be amazed to hear clients' feedback. Wow, you really guessed something about the number 2 and doves and the color purple. Well, I was out in town and I saw 2 doves next to a purple dress. Like, you're going to pick things up like that. And you don't always know what it means. You just say it, what you feel. Sometimes it's just a kinesthetic sense. And the client, then you have that connection and you resonate, okay? But you can do it from a distance, through a video, through a phone. Like, it doesn't have to be in person while that person's away, and then you just tell them what happened next. You know, there's all sorts of apps out there. Psychics literally just text you what they see. Like, they don't even need to talk to you in live or in person at the time, right? So that's tarot. And the final thing are candles. So candles are, again, the kind of out there stuff. They're sometimes more like the witchy themed things, like spells and potion making, what have you not. But I still recommend them, and I teach about them because candles have different meanings based on the color. Now, it doesn't have to mean the literal candle color. See, this is white, but it has a green exterior. As long as you have matched the exterior is okay. This was a spell potion I made for money, and it worked. This is a garden basil thyme candle, which basil and thyme, I believe, are both great for attracting money. And I sprinkled some cinnamon and some other herb. I don't quite remember what else. Cumin, I believe. I'm not sure exactly, but it was good for money as well. And I did a whole little witchy ritual, and it worked. So, you know, there's something about it, you know. If you want love, red, pink, like I said, same with the crystals. If you don't have crystals or can't afford it, you know, just get a candle, like a cheap one and a small one, and just do your work. Doesn't even have to be scented. Unscented is usually best because you can design it and make it your own, but I made it my own, and every time I light this now, it has like the scents of the herbs I put and the herbs that already come within this candle. So candles are great. They're used for contacting your ancestors, making ancestor altars, which could be a future course as well. And they're great for manifesting, for prayer, for your morning meditation time. There's something about candles that people, I wish, would connect to more and realize. You'd be amazed how many people don't light candles. They don't believe in them. They don't think you need a candle to help you with certain life situations. There's a reason candles have been used for millennia, literally, to show respect to their former gods and belief systems, and just to not only decorate the environment or create light or warmth, but there is a light source. You're connecting to a light. So you need to bring that about your workspace, especially if you're doing things like, sometimes you can even light one with your tarot readings, or while you're doing your sage, or working with your crystals, or, you know, meditation time with your essential oils. Candles are very warming and comforting, and they create that environment that just says yes, like the ritual can begin. Ritual meaning like my moment in time of peace, comfort, tranquility, my environment of cozy, warm, nice, tingly feelings. And so we're going to go into that more, but candles are something people forget about, so that's another part of the spiritual work, and some tools you can use. Of course, at the end of the day, spirituality, you don't need any of these tools or supplies. You don't need oils, candles, tarot, sage, or crystals. All you need is the power of your mind. But these tools allow you to channel message to come through, to channel divine guidance, spirit, your gifts, your ability to see, smell, taste, sense, and touch. You know, that's why everything is so tactile and different. Cards, smoke, scents, aromas, and out there physical sensations that maybe you can't even get in touch with right away without these tools. So again, this is just a beginner course for the basics. The more advanced stuff doesn't use any of this, but this at the very least helps people begin and be welcomed, and it kind of like a marketing trick to welcome people in and invite them in the door of the world of metaphysics. But you don't need any of this stuff realistically. These tools are used to guide people. Like tarot readers need their tarot to be able to channel message, but there's many other ways to channel message. You could just sit there and whatever comes to your mind. But that happens over a period of time of working with these tools and many years of the practice. just like if you ever decide to do this work, let's say tarot reading, or you're someone who just decides to cleanse people's homes for a living, or themselves, right? You need these tools and practice and to do the work yourself as well. You need to use your own tools to help yourself. Sometimes you need to give yourself a tarot reading as well. Sometimes you need to give yourself a crystal healing instead of healing others, right? So that's all. Thank you guys for joining me. I'll see you in the first course on essential oils very soon. All right. Have a good one.